All right, guys. 3, 2, 1 show. Back at it again. This is episode 7, and hopefully we can get these a little more fewer and far between than we have been in the past. But we do have some pretty interesting information for everybody. We're kind of excited about. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Ray and let him fill everybody in.
All right, so most of us have heard from last week, but we finalized the deal with the merger of Fueled CrossFit and us. The official merge takes place July 1st. So we're just trying to get things prepped and trying to get a grasp of how we're gonna make it as smooth as possible for everybody. What does that mean for our current members? Not much is changing as of yet. Same class schedule, same things goes. You just may see more equipment start popping up here and there as the month goes on. What that will mean, though, is that we have a whole group of people that are coming, a whole new community that's gonna start showing up too. Which for me as an owner and a coach is super exciting, but at the same time, there's going to be a learning curve for us as well. Our classes may go from an average of 8 to 15, and we have to learn how to manage more people. But with that, it's all good. Everything. I've talked to some of the clients. I went there Saturday. I've talked to the owners, Kenny and Zeno. We're in constant communication, and everything's positive. Everything's excited. Everything's it's moving. It was time for Kenny and Zeno to maybe focus on some other things in their life. They got growing families. And we talked about that. They'll still be a big part of what we do every day. But they want to back up from of a more leadership role than they had before, which any other affiliate owners, or even E-Rock can attest because he's around a lot. There's way more that goes into running an affiliate than just, hey, we coach CrossFit, we got a bunch of barbells, we got this and this, and those guys having full-time jobs as well. They were doing the affiliate out of pure love for CrossFit and bringing it to their community, which much respect for that, because I was at that same position, but just not the best time in their life to do it full time, and that's not their passion to run it full time. So they, we kind of got together and just started throwing ideas at each other, and it snowballed into, hey, what about this? And they're happy, we're happy, and it should be a great thing for the CrossFit community in St. Charles Parish.
Yeah, I know. We definitely pride ourselves on community and being a huge extended family with everyone. And I know I've witnessed firsthand a million times when somebody new comes in. Most of the people in the classes are very welcoming, open arms. But you're usually talking about 1 or 2 people at a time. And what some people may see is, like you said, we may get 7, 8, 9, 10 people show up at a class that you've never seen before. And we just really hope that continues to where you just always open arms and you say hello and you introduce yourself, get to know their name, work out with them. You might have a new best friend, you might have a new competition partner.
Right.
And also with all of that too, with Kenny and all them coming over, you may show up at a class that you normally see me or Ray or Josh and you show up to the class and it might be Kenny or Zeno or Ryan or whoever else it may be. But they've been doing. We're not just going to let anybody coach, I guess is kind of what I'm getting at. These guys know what's going on. So if you show up and there's a new face, get to know that coach as well, because they might be coaching more and more classes. So.
Yeah, and with that being said, we also discussed is we talked about it, but we got to get our bearings amongst ourselves as well. We're confident and comfortable inside of our facility with our clientele. It wouldn't be fair for me to take one of those guys and throw them in a class that I know we have 15 clients come, say 5:30 in the afternoon, to just say, hey, go in there and coach these clients you're not familiar with. Do I have full confidence they could get the job done? Absolutely. But would it be fair to them? Maybe not so much. So the first couple weeks, it'll still be, regularly scheduled programming at the box. But those guys, they do have some assistant coaches and some coaches that are basically in training, aspiring coaches, and I've talked to them. So you will see some new faces in those positions, but until we feel fully confident that they're confident in what they're doing, it'll be business as usual for us. The biggest thing, and that's on me, Zeno, Ryan, and Kenny, is making the transition for everybody as smooth as possible. Make sure everybody's Wi-Fi turns over with no issue. Make sure the billing information is up to date and everything's good. We have a whole different price structure than they have across the river. So we got to get the clients in agreement with the class structure we have. We offer a 3-day-a-week program, and we offer a couple different things, and then on the flip side, they offered a couple things that we don't have. So we're still trying on the back end to smooth all of that out in a way that it doesn't affect the clients at all. But other than that, we've brought over a little bit of equipment. Everybody's seen it. Everybody's excited on our end. Hopefully it keeps growing in the right direction, and it's like E-Rock said, a positive thing for the community.
Yeah, very excited about it. Looking forward to meeting lots of new faces and being one CrossFit family. So moving on to our next topic at hand, one of the things Ray and I have been wanting to do, but between me working shift work, Ray coaching a lot of the classes, our schedules are hard to mesh. So that's why we kind of haven't had a whole lot of podcasts lately. But what we want to do is try, and I say try, to go over the week's programming. Because Spieler puts out the programming, gives us a lot of information on how it's supposed to be attacked and what you should do with this and how to scale this and how to scale that. So we really, really feel that going over all this stuff every week is going to be beneficial for everyone. But again, like I said, it's hard for us because our schedules are so crazy. But we're going to start today, even though we just missed Monday. But I just got back from vacation, so that's kind of why.
We didn't miss Monday.
Yeah. Well, I did work out. We just didn't, Anyway, so we want to start off talking about today, even though I know some of you aren't going to see this today, and you're going to go and work out anyway. But today's workout is a 12-minute AMRAP. 3 power cleans, which should be really heavy. So 3 power cleans, 6 strict handstand push-ups, 9 toes to bar, 12 bar-facing burpees. And of course, this is the RX version. The power cleans, with it only being 3 reps, is supposed to be really heavy. Whether you do them 3 touch and go or 3 singles, they should be relatively heavy. That way you really have to work for those 3 reps. 6 strict handstand push-ups. Obviously, if you can't do them strict, try to do the handstand push-ups, kipping. A lot of the girls this morning, they did them on the box.
Yeah.
And then, of course, if you can't do that, and you do regular push-ups. 9 toes to bar. One of the things that I've been talking to people about is if you've got toes to bar, great. Really work on cycling those toes to bar.
Stringing together as much as possible.
Sometimes we talk about working on efficiency and, you're doing some fast singles because you have a 12-minute workout. But today would be a good day for you to really try to hit all 9 or try to go 5 and 4 or try to really string those together in the workout. Even though you may lose it on the back end, whenever you're working on them in the workout, then you're getting that repetition.
That's right.
Because a lot of times we're not going to be able to spend a bunch of time off the side and work on it.
Right.
Do it when it's there. And of course, everybody's favorite 12 bar facing burpees.
And that's just get through them as fast as you can.
Yeah,
survive the burpees, and get back to that barbell.
Yeah. So a good thing would be to stay steady. It doesn't have to be fast on the burpees, but pick a pace and stay steady. All 12. Then your break will be walking over to the barbell and resetting mentally to get back on that heavy power clean.
We're looking at, I want to say for the most part this morning, people are right under 4 rounds. 3 and 12, something like that. So it's not like we're going to do a ton of reps today. that heavier barbell slows the pace down a little bit. Get through the handstand push-ups or any scale. So going back, this is a test week from Icon. So these are all WODs that we may see again. So one thing is that if you had the KIPP handstand push-ups today, and if we do this 9 weeks from now, and you can string together some strict handstand push-ups, well, then we move the needle in the right direction.
Yeah.
If your toes to bar, if you could only do 5 and 4 today, or you couldn't even do toes to bar, and 8 weeks from now you're doing singles and you're getting toes to bar, well, we move the needle in the right direction. That's the idea for this is we do it as best we can, and then when we test it, we just try to do a little bit better.
Yeah. And the key here too is that it's test week. It's not let's see how you can score the best that you possibly can week. It's test week. And what that means is go after it.
Right.
If normally we tell you it's a 12-minute AMRAP and you have these, those low rep numbers but high weights and high skill, normally we would tell you, hey, let's err on the side of caution so you can fit more work in. Your intensity is up. That way you can get the maximum amount of rounds and reps that you can. But this week, being test week, I would tell you, go after it. If normally you would never do the 225, but you can do them, I would say go ahead and try them.
Right.
Or if you're not good at strict handstand push-ups, but you're really good at kipping, I would say go try the strict handstand push-ups. Test yourself, test your fitness, and see what happens. It's not going to be the end of the world if you end up in 12th place in Wodify. That's not what this week is about. This week is about just going after it. Yesterday, Abby asked me about the workout because she was thinking, that she had some trouble with some of the chest to bars and, all this other stuff. And, she just had a baby and she was worried about all these double unders. And she was like, well, what am I shooting for here? And I told her, I was like, just go for
Completion.
it.
Yeah.
Just go for it. So she was like, oh, okay. So with that in mind, she was like, I'm not worried about my time. I'm doing this today. So she did the chest to bar. She did, she did what she had to do. And that's kind of the mentality we're going to have this week. Next week, when we start getting back into things, we'll kind of err back on the side of caution. We'll really work on that intensity, working on that skill work and stuff like that. So I just wanted to kind of put that out. That's going to be the common theme whenever we go through most of this.
One thing is if you're competing Saturday as well, be smart.
True.
Don't blow your hands out because it's test week on Tuesday and you already spent money to do a competition on Friday.
Right. Saturday is a Franco's competition.
That's
and we do have some athletes.
Yeah, we have 5 teams.
Five teams. So while we're on that, let's talk about that real quick. You and
me and Chad Keller.
Okay.
Becky and Dara. Austin and Trey. And
we got Josh
Icon Eddie and Intermediate Josh.
Yeah, of course.
And Taylor and it was Tony, but Tony had to back out, so Taylor's in hunt for another partner as of now. So yeah, it'll be a good group. If you're not doing anything Saturday, it's always a fun competition. Come out and say hello. Everybody appreciates a good community backing them, and we usually always have that. So
yeah, and what else is cool too is if you've never been to one, this is probably one of the best ones that we've been to in this area. So if you're curious about what goes on in a competition, come by and say hi. If maybe one day you want to do a competition but you don't know what it's all about, again, come by and say hi. Support the athletes that are going to be there. It is a good time. And the best part about it is that everybody goes out to eat in the evening, gets a good big old fat meal with some drinks, and we just kind of cut up and have a good time. So back onto the programming. We're going to move to Wednesday. So yesterday, Monday, we tested out a 1-rep max back squat. That's going to be the theme for this week as well. Wednesday, we have a 1-rep max clean and jerk.
That's right.
And again, in the note that I put in our Facebook page the other day, that's really for the ones that want to get after it. They want to test. They want to see what happens in the next 8 to 9 weeks. We've got a lot of athletes that are still learning. We have a lot of athletes that don't care about their 1-rep max. And for those people, I say, great. Don't worry about it. Stress-free. Just go in there and try to lift some heavy barbell or work on your technique or whatever the case may be. But for the rest of us, that the competitors, the guys that want to try, the girls that want to try,
Yeah, go ahead and get it.
it'll be 1 rep max clean and jerk tomorrow, Wednesday.
Yeah. And that'll be followed by what's called Icon 2, which is 3 rounds of everybody's favorite heavy thrusters.
Really heavy thrusters.
And a bunch of ring muscle ups, which, honestly, we don't do as many as we should. Most of us that tend to err towards the side of RX can do bar muscle ups, and they're easier.
Yep.
Should I say less scary for me.
Yeah.
So we'll stick to ring muscle ups, or even scale down to pull ups and dips or something like that. And that'll be followed by a glorious 400-meter run.
Yeah.
So this is
gnarly.
It's kind of rugged for a Wednesday. Heavy thrusters, good push, a good pull, and some running.
Yeah, so the thruster weight, 155 for the guys, 95 pounds for the girls. That's a lot of weight. If you think about 30 thrusters by themselves is a lot. And then like you said, the ring muscle-ups are a little tougher. It's 30 ring muscle-ups. And then, of course, a 1,200-meter run total. But, one thing that we have been doing, and I'm guilty of it too, we have ring muscle-ups programmed in the workout. The other day it was like 3 rounds of 7 or 4 rounds of 7, something like that. I started on the rings, but then I failed a couple and I was getting really tired. I switched to the bar.
Right.
What we really need to try to do, and again, I'm talking to the ones that A, can do the muscle-ups, and B, that want to do better when the open comes, or, increase your skill range. Anytime that we program ring muscle-ups, really try to do ring muscle-ups. A good example for something like this, 30 ring muscle-ups is a lot, especially after thrusters. I would rather you do less reps on the rings instead of doing 10 on the bar.
Right.
Just because if we always avoid the ring, then you're never going to be able to do the ring when it shows up in the open next year. So, for instance, you do 3 rounds of 10 thrusters, maybe at 135 or 115, depending on what your capacity is, and then maybe 3, 4, or 5 ring muscle ups,
Or even attempts.
or even attempts. Exactly. Just try to get up on the rings and then move on to the run. For the rest that can do all this, which there's not that many,
No.
go after it.
Yeah.
But again, be smart about it. This is one where I would tell you to go after it, but you can't spend an hour trying to do
a ring muscle up, right?
Yeah, a ring muscle up. So obviously, we'd want you to scale those reps first, and then
And I would even say if you're on the brink of a bar muscle up, let's pass the rings up today. Let's get that bar muscle up, or whatever your progression is. If you're almost got a chest to bar pull up, let's get that chest to bar pull up, or even a regular pull up. Let's work the progressions.
Yeah.
But work the progressions. Don't just go the easy way out. If you're doing chest to bar pull up attempts and you're doing 10 of them, you're still doing work.
Yeah.
Maybe you're not where you want to be, but massive amounts of work is still being done. The same thing goes for ring. Like I'm guilty. I've done ring muscle ups before. I am terrified of ring muscle ups, and I don't know why. Something in my brain when it goes for that big kip and sit up goes.
Yep.
You are not designed to be up here,
Yeah.
and the breaks happen.
Yeah.
But still, massive amounts of work, big kips, big pulls, hard sit-ups. That's still work. It's not in the definition that it's not successful work. We're not succeeding at what we want, but we're still doing massive amounts of work.
Yeah. So ultimately, if you're not sure, just ask one of us.
Yeah.
We'll guide you in the right direction.
Yeah.
Thursday, something that I'm kind of excited about. Spieler introduced a new endurance program where he's going to offer 3 days a week of all endurance, no lifting, just really getting after it. So we've been doing some endurance stuff on Thursdays. So now all we're doing is we're going to start implementing his endurance program on those Thursdays. So this week is going to be 1, 2, 3 4-minute AMRAPs with 2-minute rest in between. The way it's going to work is the first AMRAP is going to be 4-minute AMRAP, 250-meter row, and 8-plate lunge, squat. And what that's going to look like is holding a 45-pound plate for the guys, 35 for the girls. You're going to do a lunge, squat. That equals 1, and you'll do 8 of those. So row 250, 8 of those complexes for 4 minutes. Rest 2 minutes. Then you get another 4-minute AMRAP of 15 cals on the bike for the guys, 12 calories for the girls, 8 push-ups, and then 8 ring rows or strict pull-ups. It kind of give you the option there. Then you'll have another 2-minute rest, and then a last 4-minute AMRAP of 100 double unders, 20 sit-ups or toes to bar, and 20 Superman or hip extensions. So it's a lot. Those little mini AMRAPs can really be pretty nasty if you get after them. But you got built-in rest in between, so you get that high-intensity interval training, and it's really, really impactful.
And so Thursday, for those that are competing, this is the day where we need to start making smart decisions. Hand care is a must.
Yep.
If you need to get over and see Derek or Lacey to get a massage or get some of the knots worked out, now's the time to make those appointments so you can get in Friday, get that decompression, get aligned real well. Don't blow yourself up Thursday so when you wake up Saturday morning you feel like a bag. If you want to go through the movements and get sweaty, rock on, but still be mindful that Saturday's coming fast once we hit Thursday. Big thing is nutrition should be dialed in. Start intaking that water.
You should have been starting on that already.
But really focus on that hydration. The workouts for Saturday, they aren't super crazy. You're not going to go for 50 minutes, but a lot of us are not used to 3 wad volume in a day. Potentially 4 if you make it to the podium wad. We're not used to that volume, so make sure you're hydrated. You're eating good carbohydrates. You're taking care of that because it's coming downhill fast.
And one thing I forgot to add on that, we're also going to attempt, for those that want to, a 1-rep max snatch on Thursday as part of the test week. And then on Friday, once again on the test week, we're going to do a 1-rep max deadlift to start off with. And then the Metcon for the day is going to be everybody's favorite DT. DT is, for those of you who don't know, is 5 rounds of 12 deadlifts, 155 for the guys, 105 for the girls. 12 deadlifts, 9 hang power cleans, and 6 push jerks. 5 whole glorious rounds.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just grunt work. I mean, it's how long can you hold onto the bar? How can you cycle the reps? Again, it's just you just go after it. Again, it's test week, so normally guys that maybe would have scaled to 135, maybe try the 155. Girls that would have maybe scaled, try the 105. But it is pretty heavy and pretty demanding. It's a lot of reps. So obviously we're going to be smart with the rest of us and not try to destroy ourselves on that WOD. But that would be the last one for the week. And then, of course, Saturday is competition day for some of y'all.
Right. So the box will be closed Saturday. E-Rock's working nights, so it's not fair to him to try to wake up in the morning. All the other usual suspects that run Saturday classes are competing. So we're going to go ahead and shut the box down Saturday. If you're feeling froggy, get out to Mandeville, CrossFit Franco's, and come cheer on your fellow athletes. One other thing I want to touch on about the weekly programming is that most days we do have extra credit work. Most days a lot of people don't pay attention to it. There's a lot of good stuff in there. The good thing about it is normally it's not for time. It's just some accessory work. Got some grip strength in there with some farmer's carries, a little ab work every day. Interval rowing, so for those that are looking for a little extra, don't be afraid to get on that extra credit. As long as I always tell everybody, as long as you're not interfering with the class,
Right.
as long as you're not on a piece of equipment that we may need, find a corner, take it outside, get that little extra, but get it in at your pace. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to blow the walls off of it. Just get that little extra sweat going. It's not too hard to work up a decent sweat these days. But that's in there for y'all. And, most days that we do throw extra credit in there almost every day.
Yep.
Some way or another. Unless the workout is, 30 minutes, then you need to go home after that anyway. But yeah, so that's this week's programming. Hopefully, like Iraq said, we can get another one in once we get next week's programming in, to kind of give everybody a heads up of where and why we're doing what we're doing.
Yep. Well, thank y'all for tuning in. The two of y'all that might have tuned in, I should say. And we hopefully will be able to get this going on this weekend again, and we'll send out another one before next week. So thanks for tuning in. Look forward to meeting a bunch of new fueled faces pretty soon.
Absolutely.
And everybody, good luck on test week. Good luck to the competitors on Saturday.
That's right.
Till next time.